What up, boys and girls? I'm back finally with a little mod video and a couple announcements. So today I'm going to be working on, I don't know if some of you remember, but I had the Cordona Quick Shifter on, which unfortunately failed last year. I'm not 100% sure why, but they did warranty it. So I'm going to get that back on the bike. And I'm also going to be doing the chain quick adjusters, or whatever we call these things. And I know what you're thinking, I've already got them on the bike, but I messed up and I cross-threaded the axle nut on here. So last year, probably one of the last rides of the season, I was just going to adjust the chain real quick and this thing wouldn't come off. And I do remember the time before. And this is just kind of a heads up for anyone that's got a R1 or a Yamaha that's got kind of the self-locking nut. I don't know if those things fail or what, but I did notice it was sticking at a certain point, and then, I backed it off because obviously I didn't want to cross-thread it. Then I thread it back on, and it'd stop and stick at the same point. So I think those teeth were bent or something, and they were catching. But stupidly, I just torqued past it and really cross-threaded this. We tried everything. I'll cut to a video of how we actually got this off. Yeah, so it was not fun getting that off. So unfortunately, I did have to buy a new axle nut, and I had to get new adjusters because when I tried to untorque it, I applied enough torque to actually break these little pieces that hold that on there off, which was fun. So yeah, let's hop to it. We'll start with those, and then we'll move over to the quick shifter. All right, first thing I like to do, because I don't have the pit bull attachment that holds the wheel up, so just kind of jam some 2x4s up at the front and then at the rear of the tire. That way when I pull the axle, it kind of holds everything pretty much aligned. Last time I did this, it literally stayed straight, so it was super easy to get the axle back in. But yeah, just a little tip to save you some time and headache. Just try to be real slow so this rear tire doesn't move on these wood blocks. Cool. Alright, that worked good. But yeah, you can see this is pretty chewed up. One of the many things we tried was holding this with vice grips or channel locks or whatever, then hitting the other side with an impact, but obviously nothing worked except for the little circle wheel or Dremel. Next, it's got a little 5mm. Take these guys off right here. Kind of help lock it on the swing arm. And then I'm just gonna back this all the way out, give me clearance to get to this guy right here. And this nut is gonna be a 5. It's really hard to get a tool in here. So I'm gonna just use a little Allen key. I think I did Loctite this, so it might be pretty tight. Oh, yeah, it was tight. All right, that's out, and she's free. This thing is cooked. Oh man, it's insane. To apply this much torque when I was trying to get it off, I had people holding the bike down while I was pulling up with a breaker bar and just sheared that right off. Pretty crazy. All right, on to the new ones. And for those who are not aware, these are the TWM Quick Chain Adjusters. So in the box, you get the 2 adjusters, which are beautiful machined pieces of aluminum. I got the black. I just wanted to be low key on this part of the bike. I already got a gold chain, blue wheels. I didn't need anything too loud. You get this little back piece, which I'll show you how that goes on. And then you just get 3 pieces of hardware. Big one holds the actual adjuster to this point here, and then these 2 just hold the little black piece on the back, which really just supports or guides it. Give it a quick clean up here. Make sure there's no debris so everything sits nice and flush. And you can do what I did. I just use a little bit of alcohol on the microfiber. And this piece goes in nicely here. Perfect fit. This, of course, you're going to want to back all the way out. Give yourself the clearance you need. Take the bigger, the one big bolt here. Just gotta snug that up. And we can move on to the back pieces. Alright, before we tighten this piece fully down, I'm gonna take the black piece, two pieces of hardware. Pretty self-explanatory how it goes on. Slip them in. Let's give these a quick snug. Don't need to go crazy tight on these. Last but not least, make sure this is seated all the way in there. This guy just needs one good, and that's it. Literally just repeat this on the other side and you're done. So I guess we'll hop into opening up, lubing up the new axle and axle nut. This is what's left of my old axle nut, or the pieces of it at least. We got the brand new hardware. This is the axle nut part number, if anyone needs it or is looking for it. I didn't need another washer, could use the old one, but figured why not. Part number for the washer. And of course, the axle itself. Oh, one thing I did forget to mention for this, I like to line it up just at 10. So the chain tension to spec, I usually end up around, I don't know, 13 or 14. On here, depending on how broken in the chain is. But to start, so we got a little slack to play with. I'm going to line it up exactly at 10 on both sides. Alright, for the axle, you do want to grease it. I just use wheel bearing grease. Pick it up at Ace or wherever, but brand new R1M axle. Give it a quick wipe down here. Alright, and you just really want a real thin layer of grease. Start a little here. And make sure you just kind of work it all the way around. We'll start to feed it through. Here. Get rid of this glove. And then we'll hop on the other side, kind of guide it the rest of the way. Go. And just seat it perfectly through. Put our nice new washer on there. And a brand new self-locking axle nut. It might be hard to see, but yeah, these teeth here are what kind of self-lock it in there. Some bikes use a C-clip, or I don't know, any other locking mechanism, but I have a feeling I had damaged those. That's why I got sticky, and instead of going and getting a new axle nut, I stupidly just torqued past it, and you saw what happened there. Yeah, these should just thread on without any resistance. Yeah, see, so I can thread it all the way down. The other one it would kind of start to lock and get sticky, I mean, well before I could seat it fully. Yeah, once you get to about hand tight, that's where you're gonna want to adjust the actual chain tension, of course, before you torque everything down. I like to just go 1 for 1. So you can hear that positive click every time you make an adjustment. Just match them on both sides. All right, so I ended up at about 15 on both sides, of course. And that's got me right about here, which is a little bit loose, but just remember it's gonna tighten up once you torque everything down. So you don't wanna go too tight. You could always back it off and readjust if I need to. Now that everything is adjusted to spec, one quick hand tighten. You always want to make sure it's sitting all the way forward. Give it a smack, a couple of rotations. Good. Torque wrench. So the manual calls for 140 foot-pounds, which I think is kind of insane. And that's a lot of torque and a lot of pressure on those wheel bearings. So I like to do 90. Now do what you feel comfortable with. I know people that do less, they'll do, I don't know, 40, 60 with safety wire. That seems a little bit low for me. So I like to do something in between. 90 seems reasonable to me. Nice smooth movements. And then should be just one motion for the click. There's 90. And install is complete. Looking good. It is currently February, not quite warm enough in the Midwest to ride yet, but once it does warm up, it should be good to go. And now let's hop into the fun stuff. We'll tackle this quick shifter. All right, first thing, just gonna get this one completely uninstalled. All right, these guys are just 4 mils. And once we get this off, I'm just gonna want to measure it. So I'm gonna put these end links on the Cordona. All right, so that's free. Snap. Just a zip tie over here. So yeah, there's a zip tie up here, just kind of holding this all together. Just gonna clip that. All right, cut that off. Now the quick shifter just plugs in. Let's push this out of the way here. It's right in this boot right here. Tab, free. All right, take some fumbling around, but yeah, you just gotta push up. It comes out. Kind of sucks, but let's test the length of the stock setup here. So we know where we gotta be. All right, end to end, it is about exactly 10 3/4 inches. Take the ends off, install it on the Cordona shift rod, and make sure we're about 10 3/4. So we got the shift sensor itself. shift rod, which silver, but I decided to wrap it blue. I thought it would look cool. But yeah, got one locking nut holding the threads to the shift rod itself. This one's going to hold the sensor, so let's get that put on. The locking nut is a 10, this is an 8 on the sensor itself, where you can kind of grab onto it. Sorry, 8 and 10 on the locking nut. So we got it to right about 10 3/4 inches. But don't lock the locking nuts at the ends until you've got it situated where you want, especially with the cable. That way you can route it to where you need it to be. For me, I want it to go under. It's going to curve up, similar to the way the stock one did. Want these as straight as they can be. This guy right like that. Get this guy locked down. Let's hit the bottom. All right. That should be good. Got some good motion left to right. Nothing's, feels like it's bound up. Give these guys a little bit of torque. I don't know the torque spec exactly, but I should go nice and snug. Pull these caps back over. That's that. I think the blue looks sick, especially with the gold. Then what I'm gonna do, so obviously you gotta plug this back in. And then I'm gonna route the rest of this cable as well as the little box, hide it up behind the ECU cover, and it'll look exactly like stock. Boot back over, back behind. And here is the final product. So I got the cable as well as that box nice and tucked up behind the ECU cover there. It's kind of hard to show that part of it, so I just did that off camera. But super clean look, same setup as stock. This quick shifter, when I had it on last year, was super nice, which is why I wanted to get a warranty and replaced. Well, plus I paid for it, I wanted to get my money out of it. But it's a lot faster than the stock quick shifter, so it's a little snappier. There's more feeling to the shift. It's more of a positive click that you can feel with your foot. So all around, a nice upgrade for the bike. Glad to have it back on here. I have not gotten to take a ride, obviously, and test it yet, but as soon as we get some rain, clean the salt off the streets, I'll take it out and make sure everything's working properly. But yeah, super happy to have this back on the bike. All right, now for the announcements. And the first is the new addition to the garage, which is this beautiful R7. This is actually gonna be my wife's bike, so she'll be on the R7. Of course, I'll have the R1M. Definitely looking forward to this season. But if you guys watch a lot of YouTube, you may have seen this bike before. This is my boy CJ Media. This is one of his build bikes. He's already got a lot of nice stuff done to it. Full Yosh exhaust, Yosh filter, custom fairings, which look incredible in the sun. There's a lot of sparkle in this paint, which you can see a little bit. The lighting and camera definitely doesn't do it justice. And second announcement, the R1M is going to be getting a full makeover or rebuild. I wouldn't call it a rebuild, but picked up a few sponsors, got a lot of nice parts that are going to be going on it. Whole new setup up front, triple tree, longer clip-ons, got the nice Rizoma reservoir. Actually picked up stacks. We're gonna be doing the EDR stacks on this thing, so it's gonna be picking up some power, and it's gonna get a whole new look. Obviously, I love the carbon fiber, and I won't be getting rid of these fairings, that's for sure. But I did pick up a sponsor that did some custom fairings for this bike, which is exciting. I mean, it's looked like this for a long time. I've had this bike going on 3 years, so it'll be fun to kind of just switch it up, have a new look. But yeah, got a lot of cool stuff in the works. Excited to start making some more videos with this. My boy CJ Media got us a good head start, but definitely some more things I want to do to it. My wife wants a color change, even though these fangs are beautiful, so we'll see what the future holds for this bike. But yeah, the next videos will be digging into this and completely redoing it. Thank you guys for watching as always. Catch you in the next one.